Hi guys. This is my first live. Oh my goodness. Um just wanted to pop on and say hello to everyone. If you are here, go ahead and say hello. Just going to wait a few minutes until we get some friends on here. I'm kind of figuring this out as I go. It's a little different than I'm used to. Hi, Anna. Welcome. I actually forgot to set up my thing here. Oh, there we go. Okay. 1 second here. Okay. Oh, that was easy. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a journey. That's for sure. I need to wash my hair. Yeah, it's been a journey and I have really enjoyed it so far. I've met a lot of cool people and just the cool people just keep coming. Oh, thank you so much. That is such a nice compliment. We are just an average Joe couple, and so those compliments are really kind. Yeah, so we're just hanging out tonight. I haven't ever done one of these live videos, and I thought it might be a good time to do a live because of my most recent video. But it is a lot different than what I have done in the past, which is obviously there's editing that goes on. So it's a little nerve-wracking to be on live for sure. But I am happy to answer any questions. Hi, Karen. Hello from Mississippi. Hello. Do you have snow over there yet? I don't even know. I would imagine you don't. Anna says that was very courageous of you. Thank you very much. That is so kind of you to say that. And it means a lot. It really does. It's been a long, difficult journey for sure. Tanya, really enjoy watching your family. Thank you. We have a good time sharing our food and our the benefits that we've seen. It's been a really great journey so far. To anyone who's stopping in, thank you for being here. I thought I would just hop on for a quick live and answer some questions or just chat with you guys. There's really no pressure. Oh. Oh, I saw a message and then it disappeared. I'm sure it'll pop right back up here. I'm doing this on my phone, so I think, whoopsie, I'm sorry. I think this would be a lot better if I had my computer out, but this was kind of a last minute live. And if this is something you guys like, Garrett isn't available tonight to do a live with me, but we can do lives as often as you guys like and answer questions. Okay. Anna said, I have a question regarding carnivore beginnings. How fast did you see the benefits? I'm doing the carnivore diet with my friend and she is afraid. Okay. Why is your friend afraid? That's probably something we should touch on, and if you want to throw that down there, that would be awesome. But um, how fast did you see the benefits? I saw the benefits like on my body, physically saw them in 7 days. Because I took a before photo and then I took a photo after 1 week, which was 7 days, and I saw physical, obvious changes. And then, of course, there were other changes in my mind or in my ability, like my ability to focus, my ability to keep up with my kids in general on a daily basis. Those were things I noticed within the first week. But I am curious as to why your friend is afraid of doing the carnivore diet. And I can try to ease some of the concern. Obviously, when we started, we had been told by people that we know that it would cause us to keel over, basically, shorten our lives, cause cholesterol problems. That's why that's kind of our tagline, because it is constant. It's a constant battle against these what are they called? All of the studies and that are out there, that everyone bases the cholesterol issues on those studies. So I understand why people have those concerns. I absolutely do. I had those concerns, but you really just have to do it for yourself. And that's part of what my video about leaving Mormonism was kind of about, was like, you have to get out of that box. You have to step outside of that box in order to find truth. Because what people tell you, even me just telling you this, is not going to help anyone. I can try to plant a seed maybe, but no one's going to believe me unless they do it for themselves. Anna said, I struggle with some hormonal imbalance, which I can see on my chin. You know what I mean? And she thinks she's going to get hair on her face. Oh, mine are diminishing. Okay, all right. Those are all valid concerns, and it's normal to feel like that. I had major hormonal imbalance. You can kind of see the remnants of it here. I'm supposed to start my moon, which is what my daughters call my menstrual cycle, in a couple days. And this is out of the ordinary for me. And I suspect it's because of possibly the food that I was eating around Thanksgiving. We did more of a keto heavy, I would say, Thanksgiving, and I think I'm experiencing a little bit of an aftermath there. She thinks she's going to get hair on her face. So I would be shocked if she did, because I haven't experienced anything like that. In fact, the amount of hair on my body, I feel like, has gone down significantly. My leg hair doesn't grow as fast. My armpit hair doesn't grow as fast. Yeah, I mean, in general, I think that that's a huge difference for me. So maybe, just doing a trial of it and seeing if she's feeling better in general would be helpful. But of course, I am not in a position to give anyone medical advice in any way. So this is just my experience with what I've done with the carnivore diet. Question. I enjoyed your video on the Mormon church experience and carnivore diet. Have you stopped going to any church, given up on Christianity? Well, I hope not. I loved your Thanksgiving video too. Thank you. Yeah, actually, so it's very typical for a Mormon who leaves to become agnostic or atheist, because when you're in the Mormon church, you're taught that if this church isn't true, then nothing is. So it can be a, what's that word? It can be a fundamental belief that was kind of, you know, put into you as a child, that nothing else is going to be true. And even if you don't believe the teachings anymore, that kind of sticks with you. So I struggled for a little bit, but I really missed the community. And I felt like there was always some kind of higher power in my life. And I'm not saying that I know any of this for certain, because I don't, especially with my experience having left the Mormon church. You kind of move forward with a different experience when you are put in situations where you're around religion again. You've lost kind of that trust, maybe that you had when you were younger. Things aren't just accepted as easily, but we did find a non-denominational church that we really enjoy being in. My kids are happy there. Garrett and I feel happy and comfortable and loved and supported in that community. And so that's what we're going with right now. And it feels good. So let's see. I'm a 1-year carnivore, lost a lot of weight, long distance cyclist. I never need to carb load anymore. Wow, that's awesome. A long distance cyclist, that's really cool. I need to get into, I need to find a hobby. I feel like that's what I need, some kind of physical hobby. I do love rock climbing, but the like rock climbing gym we have local to us is a little bit more pricey, and just with the way that the world is, um, it's a little harder to maybe do that right now, but I want to for sure. Also, I noticed that when I eat meat, I feel great, and I cheat, my joints hurt and I feel awful. Oh my gosh, me too. The joint thing is crazy. Sometimes I'll experience that oxalate dumping, and of course, I'm only 5 months in, so I assume that that will taper off eventually, but that is real. If you are experiencing that joint pain, just know that that's normal. And if you're concerned about it at all, obviously go talk to someone that a doctor that you trust, or someone who's supporting that carnivore journey or keto, whatever you're doing. But yeah, that can be pretty intense sometimes, I've noticed. Um, Thank you for sharing. Of course, yeah, I'm happy to share. Um, See ya. Bye. What kind of keto food did you eat on Thanksgiving? Um, so on Thanksgiving, we had a smoked turkey, and then I make a cranberry dessert that has been in my family for a while. My mom used to make it all the time, and so it's pretty nostalgic for us. So I made that, and I tried to make it sugar-free, but the sugar-free Jello wasn't in the right amounts, and it was kind of a bummer. So I used the regular Jello, but it was really good. And I made a keto cream cheese frosting on top. And then I made a green bean casserole that was so good. It was better than the regular green bean casserole that we would have other years. And then bacon wrapped shrimp. I'm trying to remember what else. I think that was about it. We didn't have mashed potatoes or anything like that. And it was really good. We really enjoyed our Thanksgiving. Though I should mention, I did not feel good for like 5 days. I was not feeling good. And I found myself almost binging meat-based foods like turkey and stuff, and then I would feel really sick afterward. And I think my body does poorly on lean meats like turkey and chicken without the skin, stuff like that. Um, So I don't really know what our carnivore Christmas is gonna look like or next year's Thanksgiving because I just didn't feel the best. It tasted amazing and it was really nice to enjoy the food because it'd been a long time since I'd done that. But man, I didn't feel at my best for a long time. It felt like a long time. Let's see if I missed any comments. Don't think so. So yeah, let me know where you're hailing from too. We had someone from Mississippi. Um, let me know where you are at. Another thing that I kind of wanted to talk about, um, I had some people ask me like, why is that scary? Um, about my most recent video. Why is it scary to share that story, or why haven't you shared that story? Oh, New Jersey. Nice. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, we've been wanting to go to the East Coast sometime. I'm not someone who's well traveled in any way. So we would love to go over there sometime. My biggest improvement was bowel movement, TMI alert. Oh, you know what? We are good with TMIs here. I overshare all the time. The number 2 is great and the farting is gone. My wife thanks me for that. Hard to believe the zero fiber would be a problem, but it's the fat. Yes. Okay, that is something we've noticed that's just like a huge change, a huge difference is the lack of flatulence. You would never expect that to be something that was an issue. Like it's normal, right? It's supposed to be normal. But it's so not normal to do it that much. And we've noticed that too. Yeah, it's been really nice. Yeah, I don't have bowel movements um I probably have one every 2, 3 days, possibly. Obviously it depends on what I've been eating. But I'm from South Louisiana. Wow, okay. Do you like living in Louisiana? That's awesome. I'm sure it was traumatic to leave your past behind. Yeah, um I'm trying to move forward with positivity and honestly, I it's not a coincidence that me leaving the church led me to be the healthiest that I've ever been. That is not a coincidence that breaking outside of this mindset that I was kept in, you are in a sense under duress when you are a member. And members can disagree with me, and they will, because that is just what you do. You kind of deflect the negative things that you might hear about it in order to keep yourself in your comfort zone. And so I don't mean that to be offensive, it's just how the mindset is. Um, and so, yeah, trying to move forward has been difficult, but it's been very liberating at the same time. I have never been happier to be living my life. It's been such an eye opener, and I've had a lot of experiences and opportunities come up, and I feel like I gained confidence after leaving the church because I felt like I was under duress um, a lot during that my whole life. I've been in the church my whole life. Only religion for me is meat, no storybooks. That's right. That you know what? Whatever helps you live your best life, you should do that. And I believe that for current members too, current Mormons. Whatever you're doing that makes you happy, you do that because it doesn't matter to me. I'm just sharing my experience and what's helped me in case someone else is going through something similar. Uh, This way of eating is incredible. It's been a month and my nails are hard as rock before they would break in half. Yes, my nails used to be kind of yellow, like the part that's pink used to be kind of tinged yellow, and I always thought like that's weird, or my toenails especially, and now they're like pink and nice and cute and I don't have to worry about those anymore, which is so nice. Are you using the carnivore diet as an elimination diet? Will you eventually add in other foods? Um, I started out fully carnivore, and then I started slowly adding one thing at a time back in. And I've noticed certain things with certain foods, if that makes sense. So, like, for example, at the beginning, when I tried coffee for the first time, there was no issue on the standard American diet. And then I was carnivore for a while. And then, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I had a little bit of coffee today after my meal, and I've had a really bad day. I've had a day of like feeling really anxious. Like, it's not an anxiety attack, but like I'm not fully functioning properly. I can't handle noise very well. It's really bizarre, and maybe it's just me, but the longer I'm carnivore, the less I'm able to handle things like coffee and caffeine, which is really interesting. Um, but yeah, it is kind of an elimination diet. I've added things back in and then taken them away if it doesn't feel good. And for the most part, even lean meats don't feel very good in my body. I feel the best when I eat a fatty piece of meat like a ribeye or a New York strip. That's when I feel the best. My stomach doesn't ever feel overly full or bloated in any way after I eat that. So that's what I should probably do. Granted, we're trying to figure out how to afford that every day, but in general, that's when I feel the best. I'm so happy you guys are following your happiness. You guys deserve it. Thank you, Anna. That is so nice of you. I really appreciate that. Adrenocide said, had a nice New York strip, 1.5 pounds of pastrami, and a can of albacore tuna. That sounds so good. Oh, that's a good combination. I might have to try that. I love Louisiana. I was away for US Navy for over 30 years all over the world. I retired and moved back to my hometown. No place like home, plus beef and seafood plentiful. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. How you have like those, what is it called when you have the table and you cover it with lobster? And don't they do like corn and potatoes too? What is that called when they put that all over the table? I'd love to try one of them. Except you would obviously skip the corn and the potatoes, but and thank you for your service. That's amazing. 1.5 liters of water to wash it down. I have a list of 15 to 20 things that improved in my life. I do zero exercise. Yeah, I have done low amounts of exercise. I've probably exercised 7 times in the past 5 months. Like, it's not anything that I've done consistently. And yeah, my before and afters are not from exercise at all. I am drinking 1 cup of black coffee a day. Does not affect me. See, I don't know. I don't know why it affects me so intensely. It could be because all through my life, coffee was never something I was ever able to have. Um, and I was taught when I was young that it was because of the caffeine, and apparently it's not anymore. So it could be that I have a very low tolerance for that because I didn't build up a tolerance over time. It's just, I just struggle with caffeine or something. OMG, I'm so glad you are talking about coffee. I recently had a regular coffee by mistake and I felt really depressed. Okay, good. I'm not the only one. Not that it's good that you're experiencing depression and anxiety from it, but Dr. Chafee talks about it being like a neurotoxin. And so we have a bunch of it in our fridge. Like we do like iced coffees from Costco, canned Colombian ones. So we should probably be done with those. I told Garrett, take those to work because I've had such a bad day today, like just feeling so jittery and ridiculous, and I just don't want to be tempted by it anymore. So I'm gonna um, make him take those to work. I just watched your Leaving the Church founded by Leaving the Church. Oh, founded by Joe. Oh, Joseph Smith. Yes. I just watched your Leaving the Church founded by Joe video. Thanks for sharing that. I too was for a time an LDS organization follower. Solidarity. I stand in solidarity with you. And I also want to say that I do respect anyone who is still within that organization. And I do know that there can be a lot of defensive people. In fact, that's the only experience I've had since leaving, is a very defensive reaction from people who are still members. And that is not, I'm not trying to attack anyone. I just believe differently now. And I think it's hard for members of the church to imagine that someone is happy outside of it, because you are not taught that people who leave the church will ever be happy. You're taught that you would be miserable and that those people are led astray. And so, yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to touch on, but I'm glad that people are getting some kind of benefit from that video. You don't need to buy the most expensive meat. You're right. You're right. We don't need to. And we are kind of leaning more towards ground beef right now, and we keep our eyes open for good deals at like Sam's Club and Costco. But you're right. Buy the meat that you can afford. That is a couple doctors I've heard say that, and that is so true. Anything you can afford is going to be better than the other stuff, than the carbs and the vegetables. Crawfish boils. That's what it is. Crawfish boils. Shrimp, crab, or crawfish boils, and I never really ate the corn anyway. Sometimes we have fresh sausage. Ooh, that sounds so good. Yeah, I need to try a crawfish boil. That's what I need to do. I wish I could have coffee, but I have a bad reaction to it. I'm glad I'm not the only one. You are not alone. I promise. What you just described about sounds like to me a response to trauma and internal ear injury causing sensitivity. I've had both. Oh, how did you figure out it was internal ear injury instead of like anxiety or I don't know how to explain, like, oh, sensory, like a sensory processing disorder. How do you know it's a internal ear injury? I would love to know your opinion on that. I just let people do what they think is right, just like during COVID. That's a good point. Just let people do what they think. You know what? And that's true. We can't really change anyone's mind, right? We're just trying to spread the word, and maybe eventually it'll help someone just like it helped me. If Michaela Peterson or Dr. Barry or Dr. Chafee weren't sharing this, then of course I would have never found it, and I wouldn't be healthy right now. So yeah, you're absolutely right. You do you. That's right. You are very graceful and doing great in this live. Oh my God. You are so nice. Anna, you're so sweet. Oh my goodness. Well, I love coffee. Kind of grew up on it since a teen. Have been drinking coffee about 50 years. I love the taste and the cultural aspect of having coffee with friends. Yeah, that's what drew me to it at first, was that I thought coffee shops were so fun, so cute. You could go in there and work and hang out, and the smell is nostalgic. And that's kind of how I feel about it at our current church. We walk in and it smells like coffee, and I love the smell of coffee. I prefer iced coffee, but that smell will become nostalgic for our kids, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Anxiety is what I meant by trauma. Right. Oh, okay. Anxiety is what you meant. Yes. Yes, I've had an anxiety disorder for a long time. Was never medicated for it because I had a really hard time imagining that that would do anything for me. And I didn't want to be addicted to or stuck taking a medicine for the rest of my life. And I'm not giving anyone advice, because if that works for you and you need that, then do that. Because um, I am not one to give medical advice to anyone. But my doctors would just prescribe it without asking many questions at all. And I had heard some stories and seen some things and done some research and felt like that wasn't right for me. But yeah, I've been to some therapy and um, to talk to people about it. And yeah, but I've never seen a better benefit in my life than when I've been doing carnivore for my anxiety. Um, 70/30 type ground meat is really good and usually inexpensive as compared to 80/20 or 90/10. When we can find 70/30, we grab it because it is so delicious, and we do save that fat at the bottom or pour it over our kids' hamburgers. And we love it. It's like a sauce, and then they lick the plate. It's so good. Seems like talking to an old friend, eh? Oh, you guys, you're flattering me. That's so nice. I was telling Garrett before I got on here, like, no one's gonna show up. No one's gonna want to talk to me. Oh, so much for confidence, right? Intense emotional trauma that is often covered up by addictions. Oh, okay. Yeah. I Yep, I could probably make a video about me going through anxiety and coming out of it in a sense. And I don't count today's coffee causing anxiety to be like my mental disorder. I think it was triggered by the coffee or the caffeine or something. But yeah, I should make a video about that. How long did it take for your skin condition to heal? Okay, so if you're talking about the hidradenitis suppurativa, um, it would flare up during my periods before I was eating carnivore, because hidradenitis suppurativa, or HS, is triggered by hormones. So I initially got HS when I was pregnant with my third baby. And I think I had gestational diabetes as well. And so I was very overweight. I can't even remember. I'm currently 153 right now. I weigh 153 pounds. And at the end of my pregnancy, I was like 255 pounds. So I was 100 pounds heavier. And then I got HS during that pregnancy, and it would flare up so bad during my period, like the week before and the full week. And then I would be dressing it and taking care of it for those 2 weeks, and it would like close up and then it would start all over again. So I never really got a break. I would say when I started, it was probably about a month, 4 weeks of eating carnivore, and it hasn't flared up. I have a big scar in my armpit. It's not big anymore, maybe, but that was the worst one. And I like that scar. I hope it never goes away, because it reminds me of the pain I was in. It reminds me of the life that I was living and how far I have come in many different ways. But I really hope that scar never goes away. And, it'll be different for everyone. If you're struggling with something, I'm not saying it'll take 4 weeks. Some people have terrible HS. Mine was pretty minor, but they tell you that it'll only get worse for the rest of your life. And when I got it, I was 20, I can't think. What am I right now? I was 27, maybe 26 when I got it. And so I thought, oh, wow, I get the rest of my life to deal with this. If you haven't seen what it looks like, go on Google. It is horrible. It looks horrible. You could always do decaf coffee too. Yep, that's true. I don't know if it's the coffee bean itself, like minus the caffeine, that causes that issue for me, or if it's because it's a plant and that specific plant has a toxin in it that triggers something in my brain. I'm not exactly sure. I never got into coffee or alcohol. I'm usually the weird one. Well, good on you, because it's, they're both addictive. And so if you just never touch it, then that's good. I have a Gordon food store local to me for 10-pound logs of 73.27 ground beef, $2.99 a pound. You're kidding me. That's such a good deal. Oh my goodness. I don't think we have any of those. Where are you located? Goodness, I need to move there. I'm being honest and supportive. I love the energy here. Thanks, Anna. I'm glad you do. We need people like you in our community who are just so positive and kind. I actually do not prefer ground beef with less fat. Yeah, me neither. I like it pretty fatty. Hi. Hi, Christy. How are you? 100 pounds. I know. When I was giving birth to my third daughter, I was like 100 pounds heavier than I am. And it was bad news. That pregnancy was, I had hyperemesis gravidum. Is that what it's called? It's HG, where you are throwing up the entire time. It was horrible. And I plan on making a video about that experience, because I know there's a lot of women who are wanting to get pregnant and maybe they're afraid of being sick, things like that. So, there we go. Oh, sorry. And other things, like we made life-altering decisions based on that pregnancy that I would like to reconsider, but now it's really difficult to do that, and that's really unfortunate. You know what I find interesting? I find that carnivores are very open about their health and body. Amazing. We need more transparency in every area. We should allow people to share their experiences and show the results and make it very medical and not, judgmental in any way. It should just be like, this is real life. Everybody poops, everybody farts, everyone has diarrhea. When you're starting carnivore, like, don't let it bother you, because the diarrhea was real for me. I graduated out of the diarrhea phase, but it's there. So, and we're not ashamed. We're not worried about it. Carnivore hack, McDonald's patties can be bought a la carte. They are 70/30. Oh, I didn't know they were 70/30. They're very good. Usually $1.60 or $1.80. Bargain while on the road or in a hurry. Yes, we not often, when we're in a rush, we do get the kids like McDoubles from McDonald's, and they always hand us the bun because it's easier that way. Otherwise, they put it on a plate that has this nasty shredded lettuce on it. So we do that sometimes, and it is good. I'm carnivore for 20 months now, and I love it. I still have my coffee, but use only grass-fed butter and a dash of Redmond's Relight, and a splash of half and half. Oh, that sounds so good. Let's see. I need to try Relight also. Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing about your HS. This gives a lot of hope, makes me keep going. Yes, I looked HS up because of you. I had no idea what that was until I got it. And I was in denial for a while, because when I joined a support group on Facebook, the things that they were talking about were terrifying to me. Just like, one person said that they bled through their pants onto someone's white couch because they had like 20 boils on their butt, and it would bleed through their pants, so they had to wear grown-up adult diapers. And it just terrified me. I was like, this can't be my future. This can't be my life. And it's scary, you guys. And I stand in solidarity with anyone who's dealing with that. And if you have any questions or need any just emotional support, contact me. My email is meatiswhereit'sat@gmail.com. So reach out. I'm happy to just talk it over with you. I might be the exception to that. I'm hearing TMI. TMI. Sorry. I was just like spewing the word diarrhea. Forgive my ignorance, but what is HS? HS is a disease that causes these boils that come in the creases of your body. So like people will get them here on their neck, like, and it's typically someone who's more overweight or obese will get it. And it's associated with heart disease and heart attacks and things like that, which obviously coincides with people's weight in general, right? That can, it's not just the HS, obviously, but you get it on your neck, armpits, when I'm sitting down, like the crease between my stomach and my thighs, people will get it in there. They'll get it in their groin, around their vaginal area, around their anal area. It's behind your knees, and they just pop. They look like gunshot wounds. They ooze, and then they kind of seal over, and then it happens again, and it's really difficult. It's difficult to deal with. I had that. I threw up my entire labor. Oh, the hyperemesis. With my older one, I didn't know it had a name though. 24 hours of puking. Ugh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, the hyperemesis I had started when I hit about 8 weeks, and I was sick and threw up every day until my delivery. And it was horrendous. It was really bad. I would be curious what a pregnancy would be like on carnivore for me. But yeah, I bought a load of 80/20 for $2.99 a pound this week at Albertsons. Oh, that's pretty good. I can work with 80/20. Anyways, ladies, gotta fly. All the best from y'all from Ontario, Canada. Thank you for joining us, Adrena Side. That was fun. I realized that the boils come from the plants and the seed oils. Yes, that is I think that too. I've identified 4 different types of diarrhea that I experienced with this food. There was a phase there where I had diarrhea constantly for probably 4 weeks, and I was worried, but then out of the blue, it stopped. So if you're going through that, obviously I'm not giving you medical advice, but just know that that was my experience, that it cleared up on its own. HS sounds pretty painful. Yes, it's horrible. You're constantly thinking about it because it's in these areas where your body rubs together. And then women or men who are wanting to be sexually active with their partner are extremely self-conscious about it because it could be in those areas, right? And then it's really painful to have sex or be intimate in any way. And so it messes with every single part of your life. Yes, I had morning sickness my whole pregnancy. Oh gosh, the morning sickness, it scares me. It's really hard, isn't it? Ugh. I got small boils and I was just on meat and veggies, no seed oils. It was hard to struggle with any boil, not to mention oozing ones. Yeah. Yep. They hit you hard in your confidence, and ugh, it's really difficult. Let's see. Oh, are you saying that those boils went away completely on carnivore? That's got to be a huge benefit. What did the doc say about that? I have not been back to my doctor since starting carnivore, actually. I have kind of, in a sense, lost not my respect, that's the wrong word. I've lost my sense of a need to go and ask for information or anyone's opinion. Sorry, okay, just checking my battery. So my doctor doesn't know that I've been doing this, and maybe he does know that things are better because I haven't been. Oh wait, that's not true. I went and got my labs done, but it wasn't that same doctor who treated my HS. But I would be curious to know what he does think about that. Carnivore has done many wonders for me. No more nosebleeds, no more tendinitis, no more stomach issues, great sleep, and lost 42 pounds. Feeling really good at 63 years old. Good for you. That is amazing. You know, and sometimes we like get in our heads like, oh my gosh, I'm too old for this. Like, I'm too old to change this habit. Or not saying that you're old at 63, because my parents and Garrett's parents are around that age. So and I hope that they are around for many, many more years. So good for you. That's amazing. That is such a, what does Dr. Barry say? Huzzah, right? Yes, always keep your faith alive. Yes, have faith in something. I feel like that helps you get through life, you know. I wore a necklace when I was giving birth to my daughter because I was terrified with all the issues I'd had, and it said faith over fear. Maybe I'll get that tattooed someday. Haven't been back to your doc, man, he'd be blown away. The HS gone and all the weight loss. Yeah, maybe. I'd be curious what he says. I'm 62. My goodness, look at this awesome community. We're all at different levels and different ages, and I love it. And we're all feeling amazing. My friend went for her checkup after a knee replacement, and oh, sorry, I'm knocking this over. And she asked him about the carnivore diet, and he told her not to do that. She is 80. Well, if she asked him about it, that must mean that she's interested in it, and maybe there's, you know, if you can get her to be interested in it and she's asking about it, then she should do it on her own. I've heard many doctors say that that is exactly what they should do in order to fix any ailments that anyone has. So just because she's 80, I mean, I think she should do it. My mom is 71 and meat-based, arthritis in her hands, and has reversed, and she's lost 20 pounds. She's doing great. Isn't that such a good feeling to know that like your loved one is getting better? And I've always kind of been afraid of aging because I've just watched people be sick. I've watched people just get worse and worse and worse. Nobody stays vibrant, right? We're afraid of, and rightly so, we're afraid for good reason. We should be afraid, but now I'm not. And that's such a good feeling to know that what I'm doing is the right thing. I've noticed no more yeast infection growth under my breasts. Okay, I had that too. I absolutely had that too. And I thought that was normal. I thought, oh, it's because, well, after breastfeeding, my breasts were like hanging lower, right? And so you're kind of like, oh, that's normal for that chafing or whatever. But it was because I know a couple people have talked about, I think Steak and Butter Gal and what is her name? 5 Minute Body. They've talked about butter boobs, which I am so excited to share. Okay, I shouldn't say that. I won't give it away, but that has happened to me. Like my body bouncing back somehow from the saggy mom breasts. So it's just really cool. These things that are fixed that you are never expecting to be fixed or to get better have gotten better, and it's amazing. Okay, guys. Let's see. My 80-year-old friend is doing the diet with me. I'm trying to support her. We were curious what the doctor would say. Yeah, you curious about what my doctor would say about what she asked, and she's curious about what her doctor would say. Oh, and he told her not to do it. He or she told her not to do it. I feel like that's pretty common. So your skin got, yeah. I don't know how to share that with you guys without it being like inappropriate. Maybe I'll like put little hearts over my nipples or something. This is like, sorry to that guy who's TMI. I can't remember your name, but yeah, they were saggy and low, and then the skin tightened up. And obviously it's only been 5 months, so I bet it will get better over time. But who are your favorite non-doctor YouTube channels? Oh my gosh, that's a good question. Okay, I am not someone who watches YouTube a whole lot in general, like any other YouTubes besides diet YouTubes. And that's what I did when I was vegan too. I would watch all these YouTube videos and follow all these vegan doctors and everything. And now I am constantly binging carnivore vlogs and carnivore channels. So I'm so sorry. I don't have any good recommendations for non-carnivore channels. So sorry. Um, I don't remember who said it, but seeking how to reverse joint degeneration, one of the popular carnidocs said that sickness in the creator's way to get the mother in ketosis. Oh, morning sickness is the creator's way to get the mother in ketosis for the fetus. Wow, I'd never heard that before. That's really interesting. Yeah, our kids, my daughter's breath, my younger one, smelled really sweet, and I was kind of worried. I thought, oh my gosh, isn't that like a sign of something bad? And I looked it up, and it was a sign of ketosis, which makes sense because we've been slowly getting them into that. Thank you for sharing that about the skin tightness. Yeah. Yep, I'll have a video coming out about this interesting experience I had. Might be similar in style to the Mormon video I just posted, about leaving Mormonism. So keep an eye out for that. It'll be really interesting. So anyway, my phone is losing battery, and I think my baby needs a little snuggle. So I appreciate all of the comments and you guys hanging out here with me. If this is something you guys are interested in, I am happy to do this more regularly. Garrett can join in too. He is out with his brother today, or tonight. But thanks for being here. Let me get these last couple ones. I'm the TMI guy, and I just told my wife about your breast experience because she recently complained about her relaxed breast tissue. It's shocking, you guys. I'm wondering if I can take some tasteful before and afters so that you can see, and it would be to make a point, not to showcase anything, but I feel like that's important, especially with all of the information out there about what things you should or need to do in order to fix that, and carnivore never comes up. So this is something that I think needs to be touched on. Thanks for sharing and your openness. Of course, this is so fun. Bye, Haley. This was fun, even though I only caught the end. So good to see you, Christy. More, please. We'll do more lives. That's something that we will do. I'll try to schedule them ahead of time so that you guys know when we'll be going on. Okay, guys. I will talk to you next time. My cholesterol is fine. See you next time.